Hey, good evening to you, everyone. How are you doing? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. I, being the glad about doing the seeing, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Tuesday evening. And I hope you're all just doing absolutely wonderfully. I hope it's warm where you're at. I hope you're staying warm, or it is warm. It is very cold. It is very cold. There are multiple inches of snow on the ground about 2 hours north of me, and that ain't right, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't right. But it is a gosh darn pleasure to see you all here tonight. So hoist up a hot drink, some hot chocolate, maybe some coffee, maybe some tea, maybe you've got something a little stiffer, and join us, won't you? Um, Let me ask a favor of some of you, though, in case you haven't already done this. In case you haven't already done this, um, if you would, if you have not already, now if you've already done this, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything else. You may fold your hands. You may read quietly while I address the rest of the class. Um, please, because it's super helpful to me, if you would click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications, it would be really helpful. Um, it is always fun to see numbers get bigger. Of course, we're all D&D players here. We all enjoy that. So I would I would really like that, if you haven't already, to click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Because guys, we do fun stuff virtually every night of the week. Tonight, in case you don't know, if you're just stopping by for the first time, um, if you don't know, we are playing first edition AD&D, and you might think, well, big deal. Okay, lots of people go on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever, and they play D&D. What is so different and special about what you do and how you do it? Folks, this is real D&D. This is just how you play it at home. Um, there's no like scripts, no table reads, no rehearsals, uh, no character arts, no season. When characters bite the dust, they bite the dust. And maybe they get raised from dead. Maybe the players have to roll up a new character. Guys, we could get 5 minutes into the game tonight and have a TPK. I don't know. The dice do know. And they're not telling until they're rolled. So we actually play D&D. This is not a wind up. But anyway, so if that's the kind of thing you enjoy, then stick around. And let me tell you, there's a little added perk, a little bonus, if you will. Um, Whether you have not played first edition AD&D before, whether you are an old timer coming back, or whether you currently play, if you've got a question about what we do and how we do it, I want you to feel free to ask. All right. I want this to be an interactive learning experience. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. And if you don't see the question being answered by me, maybe somebody in the audience will answer it for you, or somebody at the table will answer it for you. I don't want to just entertain. I want to inform, and I want you guys to all be able to enjoy that. Um, so, uh, so thank you, and let me give greetings, Lord Misfit, Uncle Brat, Daniel Rowan, FMCS Recon, Tonka Todd. We have we have an esteemed gentleman amongst us. Tonka Todd is here. Some of my get back in the green room. Kevin, D and Disability, get back in there. Zach Melvin. It is not going to be snowing down where I am. It is not gonna. Do you hear me? It's not going to be snowing down here. So, No snow golems, no simulacrums to be made down here. Waggy, good to see you. -4 in southeast Wisconsin, downright balmy. I've told the story many times of the foot of snow that was dropped on us at GaryCon in 2023. So I believe you. I thoroughly and completely believe you. Vinny Finnegan, good to see you. Where do babies come from? They are rolled up 3d6 down the line. Todd. But anyhow, so yeah, we're going to be jumping into the game here in just a few minutes. Couple of housekeeping things. All good, by the way. We are actually we're going to have some more players at the table again soon. Dr. Tim M. Holt's going to be coming back to the table. I think next week, he said. If not, then a little, then the following week. Tim has had some stuff going on, all good stuff, that has, he focused on that, and now he's going to be coming back and nerding out with us on Tuesday evenings. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm pretty excited about Tim joining us. And we've got we will have a sixth player joining us also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a sixth player joining us also. So I'm excited about that. I know it's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. The other cool thing, and I want to thank you guys for making this possible. Of course, you're familiar with our different cameras. We do have different camera angles that we do around here. But we are adding a third camera. Thanks to the support that you guys show this channel, we are adding a third camera. I found a sweet deal. Now, this is not any kind of an affiliate link at all. Good to see you, Rory. But thanks to the support that you guys show this live stream, your subscriptions, your super chats, your super thanks, your watching videos beginning to end, I saw a really nice HD camera. It's not just, it can be used as a webcam. It's not a DSLR in the traditional sense, but it's really cool. If anyone wants the link, I will share it with you. But it is just a really, really neat camera, and I'm looking forward to getting it and putting it into play. See what I did there? Here at the table. So thanks, guys. I was able to add another camera, maybe a little less jumping up and running around the table from me during game sessions. So I'm excited about that. And again, it's not just a simple webcam. It's got like adjustable, like manually adjustable focus. I could attach more lenses on it if I wanted to. So I'm kind of excited about that. And who knows, maybe I'll get a motorized gimbal for it. Maybe that'll be like the special camera. But that is something that I can only do with everyone's help. So when you subscribe, when you support us, even at the $1 level over on Patreon or over here, Camera Fund. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you so much for the super. Jeremy and I have actually we've known each other for a hot minute or two. And I hope you're doing well up there. Jeremy's out. I don't want to dox him. He's out where it gets very cold and stays very cold for a really long time the year round. So, Mobius, there you are. Good to see you, my friend. Mobius 8. Anyway, I'm looking forward to putting that camera into action. Yeah, that's right. Now, a mutual friend of mine and Jeremy's, unfortunately, the gentleman in question has passed. I have honored him on this show before. Way back in the distant time of, I want to say around 2008, 2007, sometime in there, maybe even earlier than that. He was playing D&D with us. I had a group here in the studio playing D&D. He was remoting in. It was May. It was 100 degrees here in Central Florida. We had an unusually hot day that day. And he took a couple of digital photos and uploaded them to me. And I put them up on my monitor so we could all see 5 or 6 foot snowdrifts against his house. He put his mic just out. He cracked his window and slid his mic out there, and it just howling. And it was like something from The Shining. It was crazy. Yeah, it gets bonkers north of here. But 4 to 5 inches of snow on the ground, about 2 hours from me, is what we're looking at, or rather, what they're looking at in Panama. So I don't think, knock on wood, that it's going to snow here in Central Florida. Since you guys are asking me, I'm going to try and, let's see. I'm going to try and paste this into the chat. Since people were asking, this is the camera that I am looking at. Right there. For anyone who's interested in checking that out. It's fairly inexpensive as these things go, but it got good reviews, and the people who didn't like it seemed to dislike it, like because it couldn't pump 4K out over HDMI. It'll do it over USB, but it won't do it over HDMI. It'll do 1080. I only stream in 1080. I can't stream in 4K. So it is just fine for me, but the ability to adjust focus and so on and etc. The other folks who reviewed it seemed to have very very good things to say about it. So I'm excited about this. I can get a little inexpensive tripod and a USB cable to take it right over into the streaming PC over here, and I will make that happen. And we will have multiple cameras. I may have to get more lights. We'll see. But anyway, so that's all the news about updates. We're going to get going here on the D&D game in just a few moments. Unless anyone has any questions. That's what I meant to say. I accidentally did the words. I put the link there is in the is on screen, and it's over in the chat. But anyway, that's disgusting, Tonka Todd. Don't do that. But anyhow, so I'm going to put the headphones on now, and we're going to stop fooling around, and we're going to start fooling around, and we're going to welcome a stable of absolutely great players. I am very excited to have these folks here because they're all good guys. So without further ado, please everybody welcome Doomsword Deathmaster as Paladin Durek Donagard.
What's up?
And I should mention, Doomsword has kicked off a YouTube channel. He's got a great first video there. He's talking some old school logic on his channel. Please check him out. Doom's Words, but you're at Doomswords on YouTube, correct?
That's correct.
Hey, Gonzalo, thank you so much. Thank you for the super. And speaking of other people we like to talk to, it is Kevin as Don Drexel, the Magic User Thief. Kevin is...
Am I here?
You're here.
Can the audio work?
The audio does work. We can loud and hear you. So next up, speaking of fun people here on YouTube, we have Thane Kyle, who is here on YouTube at D&Disability. He too has a great channel that I also recommend you check out because he has awesome guests on there and holds forth on a great many cool topics D&D related. Everybody welcome TK, aka D&Disability, as Holder.
He has awesome guests.
Greetings all.
Holds forth on a great many cool topics.
And last but not least, we have the mouth from the South, except he's not from the South. I don't think the South is a thing. Everybody, put your flippers together for the one and only Mr. Graph Paper Architect.
Nanu.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right. So last week, GPA was... oh, thank you very much, Vinny. I appreciate that. GPA was not here for the week, but to catch everybody up, the party had retreated back after a few rebukes, a few good sharp blows dealt to the villains in the slaver stockade located somewhere in the wooded, tangled tracks of the Draken's Grab Hills. Returning to the city of Highport with information and loot, your contractor, your contact with higher authorities who want to see the slavers once and for all dealt a telling and final blow. The mysterious Gelor takes the information that you have brought to him and said, I will get this to sages to study, and then I will get back to you, my friends. You have all done exceptionally well so far. My agents, my spies tell me that the slave lords are feeling the heat from your actions. We must keep up the pressure. I will provide you with information as it comes. Until then, take a se'night or a fortnight to recuperate, to consider the impact your deeds have done, and I will see you all again very soon. And to each of you, he gives a bag of 25 platinum pieces. Plus, of course, you have the items that you had acquired from the Medusa and from the other foul creatures in the stockade. And you find yourself with time to kill in Highport. And the last item that you had left to identify were actually two cryptic-looking parchments that were rolled up. You had not cast a read magic on them, but they have faint radiations of magic upon them, as the more learned amongst you can tell. It is back into your inn quarters that Malf staggers after having spent a se'night himself carousing and enjoying the fruits of his labor and the fruit of the vine and of the grain fields as well. So you have these two unidentified writings. Gentlemen, what will you do?
Okay, so if if I could start real quick, I know we posted a list of these things. Does GPA know what Mouth took? I just want to go through and make sure we don't miss anything, and I'll put them in that spreadsheet we use.
Is that on the spreadsheet? Let me look.
No, I think we left off on the spread. Yeah, but you know how that chat scrolls.
Yeah.
So it'll get lost, and I don't want to delay anything, but I want to make sure that Mouth got a ring of free action and 25 platinum pieces, which I guess is the 25 platinum pieces that Galar gave us, right? And did Mouth get the decanter of endless water as well?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm looking
You're
at the
probably
spreadsheet. Yeah, I'm still trying to play catch up over here. It was been a crazy
Yeah, well, that's
week,
why I
but
want to clear that.
yeah, I
Right.
appreciate that. Yeah, that would be great. If nobody else wants it, I will definitely use that.
Okay,
I
so
don't
Okay,
recall giving Mel the decanter of endless water, but as long as he uses it to bathe, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, it just happens to be in the same little chat section with no interruptions. So either he can take it, or we can sell it, or I'll take it, or whatever. I don't
Oh
really
no,
care
no,
about
no,
that.
no!
I mean,
That
even
would
if
be
you don't have to carry
that's
water, I'll take it.
oh, that's great. Thank you very much. This will be perfect. I will immediately begin working on an attachment to convert it to ale.
just a
Well,
filter attachment that blasts the water at high stream through fermented barley.
Exactly.
and
Then it would
it's
be
nice
endless.
for creating water. You
Mhm.
know,
Yes.
if we run out of water or whatever, and if Holder's down, right, because he's our only source of water outside of what we carry.
A decanter of endless water
Yeah, and
plus
the fire hose
summon
attachment could be
elemental.
useful.
Right.
Okay, so the decanter of endless water, as you are taking ownership of that, Melf,
Hmm.
that is, let's see, decanter of endless water. Decanter of endless water. That is 1,000 experience points to Melf for getting the decanter of endless water.
All right.
Not the Decatur of endless water, which would take you to a nice spring in Alabama. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Weggy. I appreciate that. Better to help me buy a camera than spend it on liquor and chili cheese Fritos. Hey, let's not say something that might not be completely true. Chili cheese Fritos, man. But thank you, Weggy. Thank you very much for the super. I do appreciate it.
One more thing for Mouth. I don't know
Okay.
if you caught this, but you got 221 experience points for killing the Medusa,
Mm-hmm.
and then 261 electrum pieces and 8 silver pieces, which amounts to another 130 XP.
And last but
Okay.
not least, the Ring of Free Action. Let's see. The Ring of Free Action is on the ring table. Potions, rings. Here we go. Free action. That is another 1,000 experience points for you.
Awesome. Thank you. I've got it. So I've gotten all that written down now. The Ring of Free Action, Decanter of Endless Water, both 1K. And then you said 221 for the Medusa and 163 from the coin. Is that
That is
right?
correct.
Um,
Oh, perfect.
yeah, 221 and 130 is what's listed.
At 130. Okay. Got it. Awesome. Thanks, Doom. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
And-
problem. And I know the other guys got their stuff,
Yes.
and I didn't take anything. Were we selling stuff? I'm sorry to keep rambling.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
There were a couple of other items, I believe, that needed identification, but I think we got most of them, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing a human-sized plate here. I don't know if it was magical, or if it was just regular plate mail. I want to say that was magical, and we didn't identify it, but I'm not certain. But I see a bunch of other magical stuff.
Well, there was my old plate mail that I took off. You might have written that down, because I took the +2 scale mail.
Yeah, there was 2 suits of human-sized scale mail. He took one of those, and that's relieved the plate, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I don't think
Right,
it was
so-
magical, right? That you had. Holder didn't have a magic plate, right?
Yeah, I didn't have the last cleric left with the magic armor, so I couldn't take it.
Okay.
The scale mail actually, by the way, guys, hurts my armor class. My armor class has gone up, not down.
It does stop you from moving at 3 or whatever, though, right? So
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is I'm no longer moving at 3, so there's that. But it's yeah.
So, did
right.
anybody else take that intelligent sword?
Um. So
I know
we've
I
got
had
the
it, but it hated me with a passion.
right. Well, we've got that +3 longsword that's chaotic evil,
Right.
and then a
Yeah.
+1 curse longsword. And
Yes.
if it's just as well with everybody else, I'd like to take those to the temple. Um. And then is anybody lawful good that can use a +2 scimitar?
I think I
Because
have the scimitar.
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Right. It wasn't pissed at me like the other one.
Right.
Nearly
And
killed me in
yeah,
a
that's
non-combat
perfect.
scenario.
Okay. And these 12 high value gems, um, none less than 1,000 each. Did we figure out what those were?
We split those. Remember, Dooms? We split
Right.
those into. We got 3,035 gold pieces worth of gems each.
Right.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only questions that I had.
So
I was
yeah.
so
So
for my
GPA,
part, I thought.
you need to add those to your sheet.
Okay.
Right.
335,
3,030
30, 35. Yeah.
35
And then
coin from
account for XP
gems.
bonuses, etc.
Right.
Okay.
It's gems.
Okay.
But
And
it's coin
so
from gems. We sold the gems.
No, they're still in gem form.
Oh, okay.
It's just the value thereof.
And so, aside from the swords that I want to take to the temple, is all that other stuff accounted for? Rod of cancellation, illusionist, ring of spell storing,
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that I don't have to put on the sheet, basically.
Yeah. The illusionist. Did somebody take that? Because I wasn't going to take that. We can't refill it. It does have spells on it though.
I think you should take it. I think you should take it and just use it until the spells are spent. I mean, if we want to just if anybody wants the XP for it, if you're particularly far away from leveling, I mean, they can take it for the XP. But otherwise, I can take it just simply for the XP. I'm not really wearing a ring or anything. But I think we should use it until it's empty and then sell it.
Yes. If you can find the right buyer, a ring of spell storing is not devalued much, if at all, if the spells are expended.
Okay. Well, it has darkness, invisibility, and true seeing on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they are useful spells.
Yeah, and so you as a magic user, you said that you can level now, but you can't afford it. The paladin's a ways away from leveling. I'm 12,000 ish, not quite away from leveling. So there's that. What are you at? What is the good dwarf Melf at?
It is. I am looking right now. I was 5th, and I thought I wrote it down, but I guess I haven't. All right, so that means that I'm at 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5,350. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'll have to double check, but I think I'm getting closer. Let's see about just
Did
with
you
this treasure
include the
alone
XP
here.
from Medusa and stuff too?
From the Medusa, yeah, I wrote that down here.
Okay.
Yeah. With the
I mean,
ring, the
if
decanter,
it's close enough to push you over, you may as well take it.
it might be. I'd have to check what I gotta go from 5th
What's
to
the
6th.
XP on the ring, out of curiosity, Bill?
The ring of spell storing XP is, let's see, Spell story.
Let's see.
2,500 XP for the Ring of Spell story.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's a good
not
chunk.
bad at all. Let's see. For me, here we go.
Yeah, that's not.
16 to 32. No, that's not right. Yeah, if nobody else
35.
wants it, I'll take it. And I don't know that I can't make use of it, but sure.
Yes,
Can-
you
Nobody's
can.
going to use it.
Can you cast spells from it if you weren't a magic caster, Bill?
Yes, a ring of,
Yeah,
a ring of spell.
anyone-
A ring
Yeah,
of spell
Anyone
story
can
is-
use it.
Yeah.
You can use it as well as any of the rest of us. None of us can refill it.
Yeah.
So, although we could probably pay somebody to do that. I don't know.
Well, sure. That sounds great to me. I'll give it a whale.
I mean, yeah,
Cast
some of
some
those
spells.
spells could be. I mean, I'm not sure if you'll ever use the True Seeing or anything, but why not? You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So let's see. Ring of. What did you say the XP on that again was, Bill? Sorry.
2,500.
Okay.
We need to give Mouth the first selection on magic next time. Because he's kind of.
I don't know. I think he worked out quite. He walked out quite rich from this.
Well, yeah, but as rich as what he wants. I'm not sure that's.
Well, yeah, I gotta have enough to start my restaurant. If I don't have the down payments, and I got pots and pans are expensive. I got one
Hey, how
set
about
of
a-
mithril cooking knives. So that's about it.
How about a little AD&D question? With dwarves are non-magical and do not ever use spells. Does that include spells from a Ring of Spell story? Or
It says it can be used by any class. It does
Right on.
not say. It does not say dwarves can't use it. It doesn't say. It just says anyone can use it.
gotcha.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
think that was it. What about that case of bolts? Was were there magical quarrels in there or something? Because I didn't.
Yeah, you had not. I'm sorry. Yes, the quarrels you had not identified yet either.
Nope. Or the
Perfect.
scroll. There's a scroll tube with the scroll in there.
There are two bits of parchment in a tube.
Oh, okay.
That is correct. So, alrighty.
So I'd like to approach Geller, Sarah, Michelle, or otherwise, about the potential of getting training for levels for some sort of duty or performance of action, since I'm not going to be able to afford to level. Yeah, if I have to write a dissertation, I guess I'll do that.
Let's see. So you take some time off from the party, you stop identifying, and you go to the small manse that he has there in the town.
Yeah, if possible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I just think leveling at least my magic as their level up 1 is a significant thing, since it's 4 to 5. Right? I'll worry about thief later.
Okay. Alrighty.
And I'll do that whenever it's appropriate, right? I mean, obviously, if they're going to go back into the stockade, then I'll postpone.
Well, and I think if we have to chip in for you to level your thief as well, I think it's more than worth it. I mean, because otherwise you won't be gaining XP for it.
Agreed. Yeah, but the MU one actually might make a difference, right? Thief, yeah, it'll raise my abilities, but I won't get a 3rd level spell. So
Okay. So, what is Don Drexel's charisma, please?
30.
Uh,
I, you know
11.
what? I asked you guys to send me your characters for a reason. Let me open up your character sheet and I can adjust accordingly.
Yeah, it's 11.
Um.
6,
Okay. He
math.
says, I'm working with the best resources I have. I'm doing the best I can by you. Um, I'm afraid not. I'm no mage, and I don't have any at my disposal. If it were perhaps some other pursuit that you also follow, some other profession, I could perhaps lend you assistance there, but uh,
Well, any assistance will be of help. I do have some. Well, let's just call it burglary type of skills. Find traps, remove traps, detect hidden people, things of that nature that I can also that I also require training in. It's not as advantageous, but it might be of use.
he quickly shifts his conversational speaking to thieves' cant, and you're absolutely able to keep up with him and
Okay.
respond in kind.
Sure.
But in brief, he says, that skill will serve you well. Let's take a send night, and I will do my best to assist you in learning and understanding better by the guilds.
Perfect. I will let my party know that I'm going to be burdened for a period.
Well, okay, so then back with us, you then only need 6 to level your magic user, right?
It depends, right? I don't. If he's going to level me and not charge me, then yes, right?
Well, yeah.
It's actually the cheaper of the two, because I'm only 4th level, so it's 4 times 1,500, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would be 6,000, right?
And I have 3,500 in coin and gems right now. So
I'm not leveling up anytime soon, and I always do this, and I will continue to do this because it's for the betterment of the party. Take my other 3,000 and go level that magic user as well.
okay. So this is gonna put me off the rolls for a while,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
That's
that will be
fine.
a fortnight of study
Yeah.
in two separate disciplines. Now, Dooms, you said Durek was taking the evil sword and the cursed sword to the church.
Indeed.
Okay. There is a Temple of Fultus right on the eastern edge of town, of course, as it should be, so that the rising sun can be seen there, and they greet you, my son. For who are you?
Greet.
If you are not my son, I welcome you. I welcome you, Durek Donagard, wielder of the light. The flame of truth will burn your way to paradise. What services may we perform for you on this
I have a
glorious
request.
day?
Could I
This
have
day
gone with
is
Durek?
glorious, is it not? I don't care if you come with me.
Okay. I tagged along.
Okay.
This day is glorious, is it not?
It is. It is. Any day that we can spend with a hero such as yourself is a good day. The
You men
church,
doing the work in this town are the true heroes.
humble as always, good Durek. He claps you on the shoulders.
I have matters of import and interest.
Then may the
Sure.
radiant
All
light
the
of
world.
Fultus shine upon these matters and show them true. What do you ask of us?
Well, have a look at these. Do not touch them. Please. We have found this sword. It is accursed by some unknown god or magic. And we have found another which I dare not speak its name, and I dare not look at it too closely.
All right, so briefly, he casts Detect Magic. Then he casts Detect Evil. And his eyes grow big, but he regards you and says, "You are brave. No, you are the bravest for daring to bring such weapons. Indeed, this weapon, I hesitate to call it cursed, for you see, the zeal of the wielder would be such that they would charge forth in battle and not surcease until they had slain their foeman. But indeed, it might lead to the death of the wielder themselves, so compelled by the geas laid upon it. But this blade was forged in the very forges of the abyss itself. I feel there's an evil intuition upon it, and anyone, though even they sought to do good by wielding it, may find themselves subverted and overthrown. We will seal it. We will seal it here. It will be laid in a crypt, and we will put many bindings upon it so that none might pick this destructive device up ever again."
Very well, that is why I brought it to you, and I appreciate your diligence in this matter.
Have you not got a forge? Why not just melt the bloody thing?
"Ah, good dwarf, always the direct way with the dwarves, but surely you must know, as it is written in the seventh scroll, when thou dost undertake to break the seals and the bindings of metal, stone, marble, and glass, know you also that you dare to tempt the release of that which is contained within. Perhaps a day will come when the everlasting sun shines its light into every crevice and cranny upon this world and cleanses all before it, and even such an accursed object as this may be purged of its evil. But that time is yet to come, and only Fultus himself knows when it will be. But your counsel is well to keep when it comes to good, clean items of common steel and iron. I thank you." He claps you on the shoulder.
And his counsel is well to keep on the battlefield. He has proved his bravery time and again. Perhaps his morality and ethics leave a bit to be desired, but this I am still working on.
Okay. Remind me, was that a +2 or +3 sword, the evil one? You know what? I have my treasure list in front of me. I can look at it too. Or do I?
It was +3.
It was, yeah.
It was +3.
+3 with some things. Detect precious metals within 20 feet, levitation, 6 level, 1 turn, 3 times per day, empathy. Empathy.
Okay. Just a moment. The Dungeon Master is doing some figuring. But I do want to answer a question because we had a question in the chat, and I seek to educate. And this was... Who was this here? I skipped past you accidentally there.
Odd Scimitar.
Odd Scimitar, thank you. Odd Scimitar. Odd Scimitar asked, how does training work? How do you calculate the cost? Briefly, the cost is calculated at a rate of 125 gold pieces per day of training required. How many days it required is based on the variable grading system and the current, not the level to be gained, the current level of the character. Good play causes the level training time to be lessened. Poor play causes it to be increased. Thus, first edition AD&D is the only D&D that I am aware of. If somebody wants to correct me on this, I will gladly accept correction. That rewards good role play. There is an actual XP reward effectively in playing your character well. So anyway, yes.
Can I put on my hat for third edition here?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said,
when WotC took over, one of the things they instructed third edition GMs to do for poor play is to institute XP penalties, as well as in theory XP bonuses for particularly good play. So that could be anything from a 5 to 15% bonus or so, etc. So that those who play really well might level faster. Those who, of course, if somebody does a particularly bad enough job to, warrant that, you could say, everybody else gains 3,000 experience points, you only gain 2,500 or whatever,
Okay. So tomato. I like that though. I like that they kind of returned to monkey, as it were. That's neat. All right. So, he begs you stay for a moment. And while he goes away, he has sent out simple but wholesome foods. There are seed cakes, a little bit of not very strong, not very potent to mouth. It is effectively fruit juice, but it is cups of wine for you each, some seed cakes, water if you prefer. He returns a few minutes later, and being carried by a couple of acolytes are bags, and says, "You must pardon me. This is a bit burdensome, but your reward for turning that sword in." And by this point, there are some lesser priests who've shown up with a lead coffin, and they're saying prayers and swinging a censer and kind of beckoning you over to where the sun shines through a large round window in the ceiling above, where they lay the coffin as they're chanting and so on, and laying the sword in and sealing it, wax seals and purity seals and everything else over it. But basically, you are paid 7,000 gold for bringing them the sword. Yes, they do. They have holy water sprinklers that they are, as this is going on, and as you're laying the sword in as they direct. I'm assuming you're laying the sword in as they directed.
Indeed.
Yeah. There are holy water sprinklers, not the weapon. Not the weapon.
Right.
But
that works too. Why doesn't that work?
They're dousing you with holy water.
The weapon sprinkles it too. You could just bless it as it's coming out.
It does. All right. So they pay you a pretty tidy reward for bringing them the sword. The other sword that they also lay in with it, there's no reward for that. The goodness is its own reward in that case.
Indeed. Brother, might I ask a question?
Of course.
Father, rather.
What does the brave and stalwart Durek Donagard wish to know?
Well, I'm only as brave as Foltus has granted me the strength to be and continues to do on a regular basis, as you well know. However, I appreciate the compliment. Is there a place where a fighting man who thrives on justice might find a like-minded individual to teach him further in the ways of the warrior?
Ah, I see. I see. Yes. You would seek out the Fighters Guild if it is martial duties you wish to train in. Yes, take you then to the Fighters Guild. It is on Horseshoe Crab Avenue near the docks. Just 2 streets over from the Royal Promenade is where you will find it. Are you ready to take the next step as a paladin, good Durek?
I am not at the moment. However, I wanted to ask because, well, I do not. I would rather see my portion of this money go to the church and those in need. Indeed, the valuables that I've brought with me, I would like to see go to the church and of those in need. However, I understand that taking the next step, which is the right thing to do, will have a monetary expense. So I would like to retain enough necessary to do that, unless, well, I know that my friends would like some of this. Well, they need it for various reasons, but you may keep my lot.
No, my son, a tithe is but 10%, and if you wish to tithe from it, then indeed you may. But you're far too humble. You have come through fire and war to bring us this weapon, and putting yourself at great risk. He kind of leans in conspiratorially and says, "The work you are doing at quashing the slavers has not escaped notice of the church, and we look upon it favorably, of course. But a tithe is a mere 10%. You need not completely impoverish yourself. The great Durek Donagard is known to be humble enough within his means. No. Take the reward that is justly yours. Tithe that which Foltus says, which in Scroll 7, Surah 8 is, let him bring 10% of his earnings and lay it on the altar of the Almighty Son. Amen."
Amen. Very well. I'll give him my portion as a tithe. So we've got 4 guys in total. 7,000. What divided by 4 is 18 something.
7,000.
1750.
1750. So 175 would be a total.
Right, and then I'll give him. However, I do that. I don't know how those gems break down, but I'd like to give him. I'll give him 500 gold pieces worth of the. Well, if they're individual gems, right? We each basically have 3 of them. So I'll give him 1,000 gold piece gem as well.
Okay. Thank you, Atomic FX. Doing dry January for reasons you can't remember. Is it because alcohol causes memory loss, or is it because alcohol causes memory loss? So here's some beer money or camera money. Thank you very much, Atomic FX. I appreciate that. Okay, so he gladly accepts these, and again, blessings upon you, blessings upon your allies that travel with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, good Durek. So while all this is going, is there anything else you guys are wishing to do in the church while you're there at the moment?
Well, when everybody's done with the seed cakes and wines and all of that, I'll scoop up what's left and then pour all of the leftover wine bits into a tankard, so there's hopefully enough to actually have something. And
well,
then
you guys were brought
put that together.
You guys were brought a good sized cup, so it's not like they brought a jug of wine out to you. It was a refreshing cold cup of wine.
Nice. All right. Well, it was nice being here. I really appreciate it. I just Durek's one of the best. I got to tell you. So I'm glad that y'all can see that. And my goodness, I've never seen that many coins for putting a sword in a box. But well, I hope it works. Hope no one ever finds your box. Have a good day.
As you, good dwarf. All right. So while all this is going on, Don Drexel is training. That brings us to Holder. What is Holder up to?
Well, Dooms, I guess your little Ponzi scheme didn't work, did it?
I suppose not.
It's that's a shame. That's really a shame. I was hoping it would work. As for what I'm doing, well, the good church of once I received my money, I mean the Church of Celestin really they other than doing base work for them, I'm short 10,000 experience until I can level. So I'm doing, to put it politely, Jack and Gobshite. So really not a whole lot. I can probably play a very fun game of trading food and water for the poor, speaking with the local wildlife. I do have to speak with animals, of course, which is a personal favorite of mine. So getting to know the local rats, getting to know the local strays, that kind of thing,
Okay.
is very fun. They're often better conversation than most human beings.
All right. So you're out doing missionary work among the people and the other as necessary. All right, let's see. And as it is morning time when you are doing this.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy. I have cure disease prepared because I know somebody's going to want that. So I can both feed the poor and cure blindness, stroke disease. I don't keep necessarily any violent spells on me, not while wandering. But yeah, I'm happy to consult also with people about their animals, etc. You're feeding your horse too much oats, he kindly requests alfalfa instead, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, we are getting a bit of an echoplex. I'm not sure if somebody needs to go push to talk, but at any rate, so yes, when you step out, and I'm sorry, refresh my memory because or do I have a character sheet in front? No, I do have a character in front of me. So let's see. Let me see that. Yes, that should open right up. Yes, there's actually a let's see. Well, we'll roll and see exactly who they are. All right. You are approached by a well-dressed, well-heeled individual with a couple of let's see, a couple of very well-dressed yet obviously very well-armed guardians, and then just some kind of followers along. But he approaches you specifically, Holder, and says, a moment of your time, good priest.
Sure. Absolutely.
You are you are of the faith of Celestine, yes?
Yes.
I must apologize for troubling you. May I receive your blessing this day?
Depends on what you need, but sure.
Well, you see, I'm a bit embarrassed to ask this, but I grew up in a household of strong faith. That's not the embarrassing part. It is You see, I seek to begin a business venture that involves moving goods from here in this city. Uh, we're looking to sail north, and of course, travel is the domain of my god, Celestian, and I have I'm sorry, that was the DM's mispronunciation. Um, is is uh, is Celestian's domain, and there are no major temples at which I might make a donation. And he reaches into a waistcoat and holds out a small silken purse and says, "So I was curious if I could make a tithe and receive his blessing in our shipping business between here at Barnacus and cities further up the coast. I have heard that the raiding slavers are taking ships and indeed whole villages wantonly, without ransom and without remit."
Sure. Yeah, how much is he paying me?
Well, if you open up the purse, let's see. And he does just offer you the bag. He doesn't like dump it in your palm or anything.
No,
Um,
that's fine. That's fine. It determines what level of spell I'm giving him.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, he that's fine.
I'd be able to tell from the weight, basically, is my point. If it's 10
Okay.
coins to the pound, 1 pound bag, 2 pound bag, 3 pound bag,
It
that kind of
feels
thing.
like feels like a 2 pound bag.
Okay, okay. So that's all. If it's worth me breaking out a bottle of holy water as an example, right? Those cost money.
Right.
Um, so no, if it's a 2 pound bag, what I assume gold coins, that's not enough for me to waste a flask of holy water on. Um, but I'll happily, dip my finger in it, that kind of thing. Um, I
Okay.
presume, I presume, I presume, just sprinkling some on his head does not ruin the entire bottle.
Yeah. No. Not for you. Not for a priest.
Yeah. So with that, I will happily lead him in a service, and if he wishes, if he so wishes, I can come and speak with any of the wildlife, or indeed guarantee that he has potable water for the duration of his journey.
Oh well. The ship that we sail is well provisioned, but uh, if you would follow me henceforth to the pier and lay a blessing upon it as well, it will certainly be appreciated.
Sure, absolutely. That's no problem. If you have any wildlife on board, I'm sure they require at least some measure of comfort, but the ship will certainly do. Though I do not have a spell of fair winds necessarily. Um,
Oh no 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 livestock. We are there are uh, some small amount of trade goods that we are transporting
okay.
north to Hardby. Actually, the the disruption, the upset in trade caused by the slavers has, of course, caused a rise in the price of many goods, and the Gynarch of Hardby is keen to restore good trade. So I took the small fortune. He's telling you this as he walks along. I took the small fortune that my father had left me. May he wander peacefully. And I was able to hire a small ship and crew, and hopefully this our inaugural journey we will be able to take advantage of such. Um,
Well, um, sure, absolutely. Um, I'll happily see him on his way if he doesn't require any magical assistance beyond just being me.
The blessing seems to have been satisfactory enough. It seems that not that none of the rest of his party they're scoffers, but I mean, it's who knows who or what they worship. But he and when he kneels to take the blessing, like he takes out a handkerchief and puts it down. He's a you can tell he's got people who tell people to do things. But he was generous enough with his gold. It was 26 gold pieces he paid you.
Okay. You mentioned there were scoffers, right?
He's got some sycophants. They're not crowding around like pointing and saying this guy's a fraud or anything like that. They're just kind of, when he kneels down to take the blessing and so on, and one of them pulls out an elaborate timepiece and snaps it shut rather loudly and stuffs it back in his pocket. But it's not overt hostility from them.
I would like to cast command on him and calmly request him to come here, child, by diving face forward off the pier.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see here.
It might be a
gonna go
peaceful
to-
cleric, but I am a fastidious one.
That's
Are we all
fine.
together getting to watch this, or
No,
did
this is while you guys are off at the Temple of Fultus.
Oh, this is the
I'm going
simultaneous.
to happily tell you
Okay.
the story of me making some rich pompous a-hole jump face first off the ship.
Yeah. So. All right. So let's see here. Command.
Just jump. That's it. Dive, actually, will be my word
Let's see.
in question. Or swim. I like swim.
He does get a saving throw versus this. He does get a
he
saving throw
does.
versus this. Which unfortunately he does make. Like he takes a couple of steps forward towards the edge and is like, wait a second, what am I doing? The fellow kind of glances at you, and then glances back and says, Ruprecht, what have I told you? Don't disrespect those of the faith. I'm sorry, my fellows often forget themselves. Here for your trouble of casting the spells. He slips you a couple of extra gold pieces.
No need. It's just remember that those with the faith have the power.
Of course. And I bid you good day, and thank you again for your blessing to my ship, her crew, and her mission. Fair winds and following seas.
Look
All
to
right.
the stars.
He goes on about his business. Don Drexel, the
Almost.
the days of magic study, they start fairly simply. It's like the mage that you study with is he's not impatient, but his patience is not eternal. So yeah, there's a lot of, hey, I think I've got it. And, one slightly singed eyebrow later, you don't got it, so it's going through the week. There's a couple of days when it's like stay up all night meditating while staring at the stars, hardly blinking. You're required to like write a treatise on magic on a scroll with a pen that like will not let you stop writing. Like your arm is killing you by the time you're done, and then you have to like burn that and grind up the ashes and inhale them, and it's an entire week of that. The thieving ability that Geller teaches you after that period is equally intense, but in a different way. But then you're used to dealing with the Thieves Guild in that manner. So Geller, despite being your employer and friendly, is a taskmaster. He brooks no familiarity once he begins to teach you. Like, what you thought would just be a simple basement in the manner that he's staying in, somehow through clever rearranging of crates and such, he slides it around. Sometimes it looks like a city street, sometimes a narrow dungeon. At one point, he has you going between what initially feel like wobbly tea chests, but by the time you have secreted yourself between some of the cracks, you feel like it's the oppressive stone of a narrow passage in a dungeon to try and unhook traps, and occasionally some of the lethal traps are little spring-loaded mouse traps that crack you right on the knuckle. You'll be leaving with more than one bruised nail from that, with Geller ever present when you fail to find and remove traps successfully, with a reminder that could have been your hand, your entire arm, or your life again. And then he'll reset it and you'll have to do it again. And it goes on and on like this for a week. But at the end of it all, roll your hit points for magic user and for thief. That's a D4 and a D6, then divide by 2.
Okay, and I have
Come on, man.
I have a +0 con, so
that's
no
right.
mods.
You get huge bonus.
Huge. Oh, that's nice. A total of 3.
A total of 3. So that becomes 2. So you gain 2 hit points.
Okay, so I'm. So what does this do with my wounds? Do I retain my wounds?
No, I mean, you have time to heal.
Oh, it's actually been weeks. So yeah.
Yeah,
those
it's
3 healed easily. Okay.
It's actually been weeks. We're not here on the live stream 1-to-1 time, so
Right,
we're not
right.
gonna. Well, you'll have to leave the table. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Get the hell out of here.
See you in mid-February because we're 1-to-1 time.
Hey, that would be a good way to churn the party, though.
Yeah,
Without TPKing them, just in kind of hint.
And just
But,
bring in another
yeah.
character. So
Yeah.
when all is said and done, you've all had time to study. Now, was Malf going to train as fighter? Was that happening also? I don't know what the crickets
Nope.
think, but no. Okay.
Nope, I'm here, and I could hear everything. I just had to. I have wireless. I could head step away. Nope, I am nowhere near training fighter right now. So, yeah, if I'm not palling around with Jurek, we'll be fade to black.
Oh no, you're not using that right.
Conan
Anyway,
face down in gruel.
Yeah, more like that.
I think there's a Metallica song of that name, and that's
Yeah,
that's
hopefully
the-
neither of the
I'm
applications of that.
Yeah.
doing.
All right, so Rory, we
So
are.
no,
we
but
are
I
kind of-
just pal around, just hang out,
Okay.
have fun.
All right. Okay, so if you guys are staying near enough to home, we won't worry about any random encounters during the days or the nights. So, when all is said and done, you reconvene back together. Don Drexel, I don't know if Don Drexel carries himself with a little bit more confidence, but you are now Magic User 5, Thief 6, correct?
That's correct. And actually, I'm gonna pretend I'm even more incompetent than I was before. Because as I get better, I'm gonna be worse. If you get my meaning.
I don't, but okay.
You got to pick a pocket or two.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. I saw something interesting today, and I'm not sure how much cachet I really give this, but Mike Merles was it Mike Merles? I feel like it was Mike Merles was mentioning on
It was.
Okay, yeah, you know the conversation I'm talking about on Twitter, saying that they shifted from thief to rogue because playtesters didn't like the notion that thieves had to steal, and that might imply stealing from other players. And I mean, whatever.
Don't rogues also steal, though? I mean, they're dishonest, aren't they?
Yeah, rogues by
They just
nature
go it alone.
are dishonest.
Yeah, so they're dishonest. What's the difference?
I don't get it. That's like, oh, my character's named this. This means I've got to steal from the other players. Like, what?
Well, that's what my character
I
would
will
do.
say,
Well, I get that.
I
but
will say, I've had rogues and thieves in my play experience be equally as insufferable with stealing with the party at times, but those players don't last very long at the table. Not
Yeah,
their
it's a player
characters,
problem.
players.
It's not a character problem.
I've
It's
seen
a player
their
problem.
characters be some pretty sticky ends.
Yeah, that's a player problem.
Mike Merle's head would explode if he had witnessed what I've witnessed at length with my players in the past. When there's a thief and like a dwarf involved,
Uh-huh.
it's all part of the game, right?
Yeah, you just gotta play a party of secret assassins where everybody's an assassin, but nobody knows. It's quite fun. Once.
Oh,
They're high enough.
I've
They're high
had
enough level to mask
Oh,
their
yeah.
alignments, so everybody thinks
Oh.
everybody else is good.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I've had multiple players play thieves before where they are all intentionally stealing from each other, but it was never anything big. That was kind of their gag. Is
Right.
like, okay, who has the ring full of keys this time? And then they all look around and they go, not me, and they all look at Jimmy.
Right.
Right.
That's
yeah.
that's a different. That's a different thing. That's camaraderie like stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think I think it can be fun to do stuff like that on occasion at the table. I draw the line with Kinder, and
Oh, so does everybody.
yeah,
That's terrible.
everybody show their character sheet to the Kinder. Kinder, hand me a note with one item you've taken from them. Or the DM looks at the character sheets and then hands a note to the Kinder that says, I've selected one item from each person. It's in your backpack. As it's like, okay, well, the frost giant just smashed me, and I have 3 hit points left. No problem. I'll just quaff my potion of extra healing and get back on my feet. What do you mean it's not in my pack?
Why does the Kender have a bag of Bakwano? Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
And honestly,
we have this
in
problem
our
outdoors. Yeah.
in our own game, Mark really did it best.
He did.
Pilfering
He did.
a little stuff here and there. I mean, the best I've ever seen, and
Yeah, I
and I
mean,
think
Mark
that's
was-
the spirit.
Mark was a phenomenal player. I hope one day he'll be able to rejoin us. But yeah, guys, if you haven't gone back and watched those episodes, Mark, I would tell Mark, okay, well, the rest of the party is hanging back. You go in the room, you search the desk, you find a bag with 25 gold pieces in it, and he would come back, guys, I found a bag with 18 gold pieces in it. All right, let's divide that evenly
Yep.
amongst ourselves.
Yeah, there you go. That's hilarious. That's what we always did.
That's the
And
right thing to do.
we just never had player problems, I guess, because we were always friends. So when we had people, we'd even go full on PvP stuff. I mean, they'd have people get a knockdown, drag out, unarmed combat, and we'd roll it all out. It's like, okay, fine, but it never bowled over.
Yeah, and this is the one thing I will say. Even Margaret Weiss herself, who has laughed at my Kender side posts that I make on Twitter when they come up, Margaret herself has said Kender only exists in the Dragonlance world because there is essentially a cosmic filter around that world. If Kender attempt to leave to go to other realities, she didn't specify. She just said they can't leave. I would deem it to be a disintegration field. She would probably say that they're just like teleported back, you know. So no plane walking Kender, no Kender and Greyhawk, no Kender and Mystara. Dark Sun can have all the
Spelljammer?
Kender at once because they
There's
won't
nothing to
survive.
steal.
That's a good
I
point.
steal his
And-
rock. I've got it. Ha, ha, ha,
I have another handful of sand.
ha.
Dark Sun
Never
was the
mind.
only campaign setting where my players stole the iron safe that was bolted to the floor because they wanted the safe more than the contents in the safe.
Oh yeah, iron safe. My gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
There was one time we went. We just I don't know what it was. Maybe because we were playing till 4 a.m, but we decided that the Dark Sun people could get on a Spelljammer ship and end up in the Forgotten Realms. And my buddies running around Forgotten Realms as a Thrycreen, just wrecking everything. Just insane. It's like, this is so broken. But it was
But it's fun. Yeah, exactly.
But it's fun.
All right.
And
It was
and
total
that's
fun.
why
Combat's
that-
fun too.
Yeah. Well, and that's where like third edition struggled as well. Like Thrycreen introduced the same problem that third edition would have, right? Which is level adjustment for monsters as player characters, right? Because that's kind of what Thrycreen really are. And you have to be like a third level party or whatever before you can have a Thrycreen in your party, right? But that's just level adjustment right there. That's like saying in third edition, my favorite combo was a gargoyle. I loved playing a gargoyle, but is a gargoyle the equivalent of a 5th level character? Not really. They kind of have abilities that break character definition, you know?
Right.
But man, are they fun to play. I played a gargoyle bard, of all things, who was so bad at his job, everybody hated him. It was great. It wasn't because he was ugly. It was just because he loved the bagpipes.
Oh no.
Weird.
Who doesn't love the
Malf, I have rested on my laurels long enough. Let us vanquish evil.
I'm right there with you. But I tell you, I can't even believe that I was watching you get a bag of gold for they're putting a sword in a box. And then he's getting stuff handed to him, and they're walking in off water piers, and I need to find God. That's a pretty good gig. You too? Oh my gosh. Nobody just hands me gold. I'll go and, well, there was the time that I was cooking at the inn, but they didn't like it when they found out what it was made of. They liked it before.
To be fair, no one gives you gold because they're worried that you'll eat it.
Malf,
All right.
I'm going to walk up and hand you 3 gold coins and say this is for using you as a hat rack.
You're glad to be of service.
All right. So everyone who I'm sorry, it was 7,000 divided by the 4 of you. So
7,500, right?
no, 7,000.
7,000.
Oh, okay.
So that's 1,750. You may all add 1,700. Assuming you guys are sharing it equally, that's an additional 1,750 XP.
Yep.
So you can
I'm still.
you can add another 1,750 since you paid part of my tithe for upgrade.
Oh, sure,
I'll hand you that.
sure.
Well, I put that money on the cart.
Oh,
You know,
it's party
the
treasure.
cool thing is the experience points, right? Yeah, I mean, I just stuck it
Okay.
on the card. If you want to lug around 1,750 gold, then by all means, go for it.
Well, so do I want to put it on my sheet or not? Then, Dubes, what do you think? No.
Well, it's in the spreadsheet, and I think at this point the spreadsheet is fairly accurate. So we've got 17,000 total on that cart, but we have a bunch of gems on there and stuff too. That's why I wanted to come back to it and make sure that we don't, get out of sync with this thing, because we actually have quite a bit of money. If we were to
Okay,
break it
so
down.
I'm not as broke. So that said, then I guess we don't. Why didn't we know about this when we were trying to pay the level? Because then I
because we didn't,
yeah.
We
because
haven't
didn't
played
look
with
at
the
Yeah.
sheet since Mark left. is really what it is.
Okay.
Right. It's his shield.
Oh, okay.
So.
Then can you subtract $3,000 from the party pot then, so I can
Sure.
get that $3,000 back in gems? That'd
All
be,
right, done.
as long as everybody gets. Yeah, thank you. That way the magic user gets to level, and I don't have to give up gems.
Right.
Even better.
Malf is still alive. He's just very quiet, Rory.
Because there's no blood.
Because there's no blood. That's right. So
I'm still here.
all right. So at the end of a fortnight, you still have 3 items from the Medusa's treasure to identify. You have the 2 unknown scrolls. You have a case of quarrels. All of them radiated magic when detected 4.
Right, and I don't have any 100 gold pieces pearls to do and identify. But maybe I can look at these spell scrolls, if they're spell scrolls, and see what they are.
You would have to cast read magic first.
Right, yeah. I have read magic. So.
Okay.
Can't you just grab some pearls anyways? Like while we're at it, just get like 10 of them.
Can I, Bill?
Not 10 of them. You've pretty much run them out.
Yeah, I bought 5 before, right?
Yeah,
so.
pearls that expensive are getting rare because of you. There are 2 left available at the lapidary.
Okay, so I guess I'll buy 2 for 200 gold.
Okay.
And so bolts first, I guess. Actually, we have a chance. These are small, right, Bill? So maybe I have a chance of getting more than 1.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
I mean, you'll open, handle them, feel their weight, that sort of thing. It's just, but you go ahead and roll percentile dice, please.
All right, I will do so. And I'm going to put them in the right order so the tool works like it's supposed to. 44.
Now at your level is 15% base plus 5% per level.
I think that's 50, right?
Yeah. 25. Well, no, 5% per level, and you're a 5th level magic user now.
Yes, I thought. Was it 15% per level or
15.
5?
It is base of 15, and then 5% per level. So.
So
15,
a 40.
A 40, yeah. So
it's a fail.
You can try again.
All right. That time I got
there you go.
3.
That is a case of +2 crossbow bolts. +2 crossbow bolts.
Okay. Let's see. Are they on the? There it is.
So how many does that make it? How many of them are there?
I think there are 14. Let me see.
So,
Speaking of which, if Mouth does not have a crossbow of some sort, probably a light crossbow or something, right? Because heavy takes so long to reload. He needs it because I'll never use a ranged weapon. We need a fighter with a ranged weapon.
That would be good. Because all of my stuff is melee. No, I have a short bow. But I can if we have a crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is 14 bolts plus 2.
So 16 bolts.
I'm gonna hit you, and I'm not gonna stop. And nobody's gonna...
Okay, so
it's
we're gonna
real
D&D,
D&D, folks.
I'm sorry, I was rolling up something awful to happen to GP's character. What were you asking me, Kevin?
I'm going to continue. I should have 2 more checks, right, for this spell?
There are no other magic items. You can simply cast read magic
okay.
if you want to know what they.
So I used 1 pearl out of those 2. Okay, so I have 1 remaining. Let me mark that to make sure I don't forget.
Okay, so let's see. So the bolts. Let's see. Taking the bolts will actually give you some XP. I need to. All right, so 700 XP for that case of bolts.
I think.
Is that who's getting that?
Uh,
Who's
that
taking the
is
bolts?
that is Melf.
Okay, cool. I will put
And
that
last
in the
but
sheet.
not least, the 2 scrolls you cast read magic on them. They are both treasure maps.
They're magical treasure maps?
Yes, treasure maps are almost always hidden with some kind of magic.
Oh,
Ah, there are moon letters here.
When the thrush knocks.
There you go. So yes, you have 2 treasure maps there.
cool.
Um,
I'm going to take
bo-
the crossbow bolts off the sheet, guys. If Malf has it on his page, right?
Yeah, I thought I had that one spiffy
Thank
crossbow
you.
too, but I maybe I saved it on a different character sheet. Remember that one super awesome crossbow? I'm trying to remember.
Let's see.
This is what I get for coming back now after the
I
holidays.
don't
drank it all
recall,
away.
but I do know the bonuses don't stack, right? It's
Snake.
one or the other.
Yeah, with like
no,
a
they
snake
stack.
crossbow or something.
they absolutely stack.
They stack?
Yeah, a +1 bow and +2 arrows is +3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, that's something that's changed over the editions. Then that's interesting.
Yeah, they stacked. Unless the items itself, and I can't think of one that did, and maybe some of you out there in audience land are pulling out your hair saying we never stacked them. As far as I'm aware, they absolutely stack.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Oh, yeah.
never treated them
I don't
as
see
such.
any magical crossbows, Mo. I do
Yeah.
see light crossbows that, existed with other characters, but I don't see any magical ones.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was something else. I'm brain farting from the holidays.
So, while you're doing that, is there any chance I can find any other activities we have to go on besides throwing ourselves against the slavers? Any
Crossbow.
local problems?
Well, I mean, you have a couple of treasure maps.
True. But can we make heads or tails of them is the question. Because, like, sometimes you can find a local treasure map and it's not to a local place, if you get what I mean.
No, I understand what you mean. Looking at these, they actually, when you kind of, you run your fingers over the now visible lines and so on, you kind of, that actually looks like this section of the Wild Coast. There's a little collection of squares along where you think is Barnacus, and you follow a dotted line along, and it terminates in a red dot. You're not sure what the scale is, but it very clearly indicates something in the marshy area to the northwest. And then there's something well, I mean, if this map is accurate and indicates Barnacus, something to the southwest, on the other sheet, I should say. That's not both on the same. They're very differently
What
drawn,
time
but
of
they.
year did you say it was?
I'm sorry.
What time of year did you say it was?
Well, right now it's wintertime.
I would rather go to a swamp in the winter than in the middle of summer, personally. I would recommend we do the swamp first.
We're
No,
going
but
to
This is a
treasure
wise
hunt.
choice from a warrior's perspective. From the perspective of a pacifist, well, it still seems to be a sound strategy.
I mean,
We
would you
wanna-
rather be balls deep in warm mud or cold mud?
Depends. What am I wearing?
In your case, probably no pants, as is your quota.
Oh, cold mud then. Nice cool mud. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. So you want to go treasure hunting in a swamp? Is that
Well,
what
actually,
you
I'd like
want
to
to
get
do?
the treasure without the swamp.
Yeah, but it's in the swamp, right?
As far as we can tell.
Gators are good eating. I'm ready for a swamp.
I think they'd be a little sleepy this time of year, but maybe. Slow gators. Oh boy.
Well, let's head out wherever we're going. Swamp? Not swamp? Slaver stockade?
yeah.
Fine with me. All of it's good.
Yeah. Dan, what third level spell did you choose?
Well, you're talking about Don Drexel? Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a guess. It's one of two. It's Fireball.
Okay, good.
Of course.
Good.
I also
Lightning bolt,
took Magic
fireball.
Well,
Missile. I also took Magic Missile because I didn't have that previously. So.
Well, we've had casters
Nice.
not get, like Mark as an example, not take Fireball in the past, so I figured I'd ask.
I couldn't take it on my last character because I failed to learn it. So, yeah.
If we're
But I
going to the
do have
swamp, if we're going to the swamp, someone leave Artax. Don't bring him.
I'm renaming my horse right now.
That's
Good.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Name him something like Happy Skippy, always smiley horse.
Doesn't drown in the swamp is his name.
Yeah, exactly. Floaty horse.
Okay,
Ooh,
can I
snorkel
just
would be
go
fine.
on the record as saying that I never that like didn't traumatize me. That didn't freak me out as a kid. I just was like, oh, okay, it's a scene. Whatever. It's a movie.
I was like, this movie's
Yeah,
never gonna
see
end.
a horse. right.
Yeah.
And the never-ending movie.
I
I wish
agree
the
with
dog
you there. I
drowned.
very much felt like that movie was never going to end.
Yeah.
It felt like
Although
never
I
gonna-
will say I saw a young man do an absolutely great cosplay. I mean, not in person. I just saw the pictures. He fashioned a very convincing horse head from like the neck up, and he wore an Artax costume. And at whatever convention he was at, he set the horse's head on the floor and was striking the pose, pulling on the reins with a sorrowful look.
I think I saw that video
It
too.
was
Yeah, that was
pretty well done.
awesome.
Pretty well done. All right, so yes, it looks like the first treasure is not that far from Barnacus in what you suspect may be a swampy area. Do you guys want to travel there? And if so, when do you want to depart?
Are we hiring any more people to come with us?
We go it alone today.
I don't.
All right.
I don't think we should go dragging followers into a swamp.
At first light.
All right.
Yeah, for once we agree. I'll prepare
Okay.
a slightly different spell list.
So following the map is fairly easy. And you soon find yourselves in an overgrown swamp. Now I'm guessing it does take you like a full 24-hour day, so you're stopping overnight, yes?
Yeah.
I'm cooking.
Correct.
All right. So let's see. You're not really that far from Barnacus, but you are off the beaten track where you're at. So let's just have a quick gander and see if anything comes along. while you are there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually adventuring. And that's not a dig at my players. That's just anyone who's been like, come on, I want to see the stabbing. Where
the heck
here
is the
we
damn
go.
crossbow?
Nah, if you sit and fool around in town long enough, it's just one more session your character gets to live.
That depends.
we go.
That depends on the random encounters you might have while you're in town. Eventually, you'll bump into a vampire per the charts. Let's see.
A Zorn or a vampire. Or...
A Zorn just
I went
strolling
boxing with
down
some
the-
lycanthropes once.
All right. All right, nothing on your way in. The although the land rises a bit as you leave the seaside, it very quickly begins to slope down into the marshy area. And you set up for the evening. And nothing untoward happens.
I'm cooking.
Man, my snake charm yet goes unused.
Sorry. Okay, so you have come to an area choked by fallen trees. It is dismal. There are patches of rank weeds, stinking cold muds that burble and glop. The trees rattle hideously overhead in the cold wind. You're looking, kind of trying to follow this map to where it might be, and you see sort of you think it's iced over. There's a pond, and there's a large gnarled tree. And looking at the map, it looks like that tree is drawn large where it's at. It's misty. Like I said, it's foggy. There's a bad stench. And on the far side of the tree, shining through the mist, it's overcast and gray in the morning. You see, you think maybe there's a small campfire flickering, but it's like, here you are, there's the tree, and then on the other side of the tree. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Todd. Take care of those puppers. So, what to do, adventurers?
Oh, there.
So we're noticing a campfire on the other side of the tree, and it's dusk, like
Just
the sun is setting.
A flickering of light. No. It's taken you guys. Well, let's see. So, it's actually a dismal morning.
So it's morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. And I would how far away are we?
From the tree, you're about 50 yards. It's hard to tell with this fog if you're seeing a bright fire that is very distant in the fog or a dim fire that's closer. So beyond what you can see in the tree, it's really hard to tell. And the tree is just more of a silhouette there in the mist.
I can bless us, etc. And if we move quickly, you will maintain it in case we are ambushed.
Moving quickly in this quagmire, we're going to make a lot of noise.
No offense, I don't think we're going to be very stealthy. That's not necessarily your forte, my friend.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like an antique store being thrown down a flight of stairs when he walks. So
What do you think? I think that's the best plan of action. What do you think? Do you want to just drop a fireball in there just to be safe, or do you want to cast
No,
spells here?
because fireballs destroy treasure, and there might be treasure since it's a treasure map. So I would argue we'd want to do something else, and that would be like the last ditch. Everybody's dying. Let's just end it. Response.
I agree.
Indeed, and we must not destroy innocents, for we know not what lay before us.
That's true.
I don't think anything innocent has ever come out of a swamp.
Well, we're going into the swamp, and we are.
Yes, but then we are
mostly
innocents going
good.
into the swamp.
Well, none of us are innocent, brother.
All right.
I resemble
Well,
that.
how
remark.
about-
Thank you.
We could go, and then one of us can go up and see what it is. The rest can hang back in the fog, and see what it is about.
Oh, I don't like that idea.
Well, I have boots of oven kind. I can sneak up there while I'm trying to hide in swamp, right? And maybe I'll use hand gestures, unlike before when we didn't agree to hand gestures on what the response should be.
Right.
I don't think we can see you in the fog, so why don't you light and shutter your lantern and just send signals back our way? We can see the flashing.
It's fine enough. It's kind of
yeah,
an
we
one
gotta
long
go
one
and-
back towards the party means help.
We,
2 short ones is fine.
Okay.
but we need to be close enough that if we get the bad signal, we can rush in and help. So let's go.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
So I'll try to sneak up as best I can. Bill, John Drexel will try to sneak up.
okay,
And he'll hide as much as he can. I guess hide in mist. Hide in swamp gas. I don't know.
okay. Okay, so you are striding out there. You take a few steps forward. You're in your boots of elven kind. Roll percentile dice for me, please.
Okay. I had to refresh. There we go.
That's fine.
9.
9. Okay. You get about a quarter of a way across to them. There is a crunch, and you fall through the ice on the surface of the pond that you're walking on.
Oh. Sneaking doesn't help with that.
It does not help with that. You plunge into freezing cold water. Like your limbs are going numb almost immediately. You guys see this. You guys see Don Drexel just crunch just right through into the water. Don Drexel, it is over your head. It is cold and it is dark. Fortunately, there's no strong current. You've just gone down.
Okay. And I
Dirk-
assume it must have put my lantern out.
Yes.
Okay.
Dirk, what are you doing?
Well, how far did everybody assume we were behind him? I was assuming at least like 30 paces.
Yeah.
Enough to see him.
Sure. I mean, and to see him, you would have had to basically gotten to the reeds kind of around this pond that the island with the tree is in the middle of. And that he got about 30 paces out, and which was about a quarter of the way across the pond to the island with a large tree. So he has plunged in. So this is all the same round that's happened. So what is Derek doing?
I charge forth at least to a to the point where I feel like I can deploy my rope and toss a good chunk of it into the hole in the ice. Obviously, I don't want to fall through, but whatever.
Okay. What is Don Drexel doing?
I'm gonna draw my scimitar, since it's magic, and I'm
Okay.
going to lift it as high as I can.
Okay. With your numb fingers and breath is, it's like you're struggling, and you draw your scimitar. The silty water of the pond that's stagnant under the ice stings your eyes, but the glow does illuminate. And Durek, you can now see a glow from underneath the ice. It's almost exactly where your friend went in. What is Holder doing?
Crazy question.
Yes.
If I cast Hold Person, they don't need to breathe, right?
No, they do need to breathe. That doesn't change.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I
Now,
was
if you
hoping I
cast
could stay
Transmute Flesh
standing.
to Stone, you would need to breathe.
Yeah,
then.
that's fair.
It just
Been
sinks
there,
to the
done
bottom.
that.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, it just
Not
sinks to the
Just
bottom.
go up and touch him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's as close to the most useful spell I have in this situation. So, I will. I'll strike a light. I have some implement of lighting, I believe, on my sheet. I'm actually scanning right now because, like, I see I have a tinder box, but I don't actually have anything to light with it. So I'm going to retrieve my tinder box and then kindly request a torch from someone else.
Okay. There are dry weeds around you that you could improvise if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
So yeah, you can grab a cattail and make
It doesn't have to
swamp
be a
torch.
long-lasting light source.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're doing that, and finally, how about it, Malf? What are you doing?
I'm charging up with Durek. I'm gonna run up there, and it's about 30 paces in plate. 4 foot something dwarf. I don't know if I'd even get to the edge of the hole. And then I don't even know. Well, I guess.
Okay.
Usually in stuff like this, I'll go like, would my character even know? He's a 5th level fighter. Would he know ice procedures? To like go up there and slide on his belly and spread out and try not to. It's like,
I don't know. I mean, you tell me if that's something your character would do. I don't, basic stuff like don't die in the wilderness is kind of ingrained into your characters. So you tell me.
I'm trying to some percentiles, but it's not rolling. It's just sitting here.
I
You
would
don't have to roll percentals. You
I
can
would
just tell me
assume
what you want to do.
competency at this point with being
Yeah,
5th level.
assume competency.
Okay, so then he's gonna run up there and dive and slide along to try to stop at the hole and hold the rope. So I'm grabbing the rope
Okay,
that's
but
gone into the hole.
You did flop, so do roll percentile dice, please.
Right. If it's gonna work, it's sitting here refreshing. Let me refresh the page.
I can try and roll them for you. Let me see. It might not be playing nice
because it's just sitting here spinning.
Yeah, it's kind of stuck for me too. Our on-screen die roller sometimes plays up, folks, and that's just kind of one of the things that we cannot read properties of undefined reading message.
All right, I'm just gonna close the tab and redo a brand new tab and see if I can get it to work.
Yeah, I think it's down actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
they appear to.
it's
just
not even gonna
That's
connect.
what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and if you've got dice to hand, roll them.
I got dice.
All right. Roll percentile
Got
dice
them
and
right
tell me
here.
what you got.
Let me get my...
And Derek went
And
to
I'm
the
having-
hole as
having technical difficulties, otherwise I'd put this on camera. Or maybe I can, but... Alright. Got my set of chess decks right here.
There it rolls.
Oh, there we
Nice.
go. They're all rolling now.
There they go.
Now it's back.
Oh,
back.
shit. Okay.
All right. Obviously, none of those rolls really counting. So try the percentile roll now, please.
Okay.
See if it's really back, but do keep your dice handy.
Yep.
Okay.
88.
You do not go crashing through the ice.
Yeah.
So, Durek, you see Mouth go charging past, skids on the ice, and skids up to where your friend is at the hole. You, Holder, you get your torch lit. You hold it aloft, and just as you do, there are 3 lantern-like lights now glowing over about where Mouth is lying. And Mouth, you hear this sinister, shrill voice from seemingly out of nowhere, as cold as the air itself, as cold as the water splashing up to you from the icy tomb that your friend is lying in. It just let's see.
Die. All of you die.
And
So
that
I'm underwater and can't hear this, right?
you're underwater and can't hear that.
Okay.
Dooms,
Perfect.
you hear that. Holder, you hear that in the distance and look up just in time to see those lights bobbing around your friends. And that is where we are going to leave it for this week.
One clarifying question before we depart, DM.
Yes.
Do we have it on record that I did cast the prayer and hold
Yes.
person?
Well, you cast prayer. You did
Sorry,
not cast hold person.
Prayer and bless. Sorry.
Prayer and bless.
Not the whole
Yes.
person, the bless.
Prayer
Yes.
and bless are
Okay.
going. So
I just wanted to make it. I just wanted to make sure.
That's fine. That's fine. So next week, we'll find out what has gone down in this cold, dismal swamp in the world of Greyhawk as the characters sojourn between adventures against the slave lords. We might have some more folks joining next week, but this week I want to say big thank you to Doomsword. Check him out here on YouTube at Doomswords. To Kevin as Don Drexel. Check him out weekly here at the AD&D game and Fridays on our Gamma World game. Of course, big ups to Thane Kyle as D and Disability. Check that out here on YouTube. He's playing Holder, our resident pacifist cleric. And finally, to Malf himself. GPA, do you have your YouTube site up yet? Are you rolling?
Oh,
yet?
yeah, it's there. I just haven't had time to put anything in there. But they
Okay.
can find Tactical Fantasy Games. That's coming up.
Tactical
Find me on Twitter.
Fantasy Games. All right, find him on Twitter. So thank you all for being here, and I want to thank you, Jeremy Rule, Gonzalo Lira, Vinny Finnegan, Weggy, and Atomic FX for the super chats. It all helps everyone. I really appreciate it. And let me tell you what, whether you're going into a swamp, whether you are going into a dungeon, whether you're going on other planar adventures, whatever you do, beware of the dreaded owlbears. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Love you all. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dance